In the first part of the optimization series, we are going to talk about optimizing texture in SimLab Composer. Go to the SimLab Academy, then select Scene Management, then Optimization. Here you will find the items needed in the series. The first one will run the introduction video, so let's move to the second item. Drag and drop step 1 or double-click it to import the 3D model into SimLab Composer. This is a 3D model of a texture-baked apartment, and if you were to click on any object, you will find one or several maps attached to it in the Material tab. This goes for all the objects in this 3D model, and depending on the number of textures and their size, running this experience on low-end devices as it is, or exporting it as a 3D PDF document, might result in a sluggish viewing experience. To resolve this issue, SimLab is offering the Texture Optimization tool. From the File menu, select Texture Optimization. The Texture Optimization dialog will list all the textures used in the scene. It will show you the number of texture maps, as well as their size, and this goes for diffuse, bump, normal, and opacity, among other types of maps. Under the Textures table you will find the option to remove duplicate maps, which when enabled, it will remove any duplicate textures and have their materials use a single shared texture. Compress maps will use a compression algorithm to reduce the size of the texture while maintaining its resolution. The map's maximum size option will set a limit to the maximum resolution for a texture, and any texture exceeding that number will be scaled down to match the maximum size. This goes for the background and HDR images as well, but with different size ratios. The last option determines where the processed files are going to be placed. This option is important to preserve the original textures, in case you want to go back to them and use them in their original state. Click Browse and set an output directory. Now notice that the total size of all the maps in the scene is currently around 292 megabytes. Let's click Optimize and see how much size we can reduce. As you can see, the size has dropped significantly from around 300 to around 80 megabytes, which will definitely have a positive impact on the scene. If you are aiming to reduce the size even further, you can set the maximum resolution to a lower value and click Optimize again, but this is a judgment call, since having lower resolution might affect the appearance of the scene slightly. An additional option the Texture Optimization tool offers us is the ability to delete textures by type. In some cases, like exporting a 3D PDF document, you might not want to have any texture maps other than diffuse, since the others have little to no value on the model's appearance. Texture optimization is not exclusive to any type of 3D output, it can be very useful to utilize in all your 3D scenes in general.